Hello, my name is Cole Hamilton. I am a teenage entrepreneur just trying to figure things out. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to use discipline correctly and why it can be overrated. Disclaimer, discipline is necessary to achieve your goals, so don't think that this video is going to provide you with a shortcut to get to where you want to be. First point of emphasis is to avoid burnout. Burnout is essentially when you get exhausted of the work that you are doing and you decide to quit. Burnout is very common and it happened to me, so hopefully I can provide you with some value on how you can avoid it. Story time. So I started my first business about a year ago and I had worked on it for 8 months. And what I ended up realizing is that the work that I was doing wasn't really fulfilling to me and I wasn't enjoying it as much as before. I was really enjoying it when I first started because, I was amped up. I was ready to make some money. I was excited. It was my first business ever. So that was my drive. But after a while, that sizzled out because my heart wasn't in it. And that's where this idea of wrong work comes in. I was doing the wrong work. Unfulfilling work that God didn't want me to do. Instead, what I felt him prompting me to do was to start a YouTube channel to help other people, to inspire other people. That's why I'm here. Okay, so you're probably asking, how does this apply to the concept of discipline? And when I was working on my old business, I felt like I was constantly needing to use my discipline, which, if you're doing that, is a sure sign that you're probably not doing something that you are going to do in the long term. Make sure before you start to do anything, make sure that, again, that's what you feel is fulfilling to you, what you feel like you're going to enjoy. And obviously, if you're new to entrepreneurship like me, you have to figure it out, right? My first business wasn't YouTube. This is a new business for me, and I'm personally enjoying it, and I think God allows me to do this. Please apply discipline to the correct thing. Don't make that same mistake like I did, because when you apply discipline constantly to your work, then that's a sure sign that, okay, well, maybe I'm not enjoying it as much. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's really hard to find that thing that you're going to pursue for the rest of your life. And that's why it requires deep thought and journaling and all that. So I've got 2 questions that you need to ask yourself. So sit down, grab a piece of paper, grab a pencil, and write down the answers to these 2 questions. First question, what are your morals and your values? And the second question, what business model aligns with my morals and my values? You may have to do some research on different business models. And this isn't a video to tell you which business model is the best, because that's stupid. They all require work, they all require consistency, and they all require a certain level of discipline. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you which one is the best. It's truly amazing what happens when you find that right business model. The hard work doesn't feel like such a burden. The work is obviously still hard, but you feel like you can do it. You feel inspired to do it. You feel motivated to do it. I want to do this. The grind is going to be much easier and it'll align with your identity. You have to learn to love the hard work, and I think the correct business model will help you do that. So we have this idea of taking the discipline and applying it to the correct things. Now, how do you actually do that? How do you actually build your discipline? And it honestly starts with waking up early. If I'm being honest, that's probably your first step. Waking up early every day is hard because life gets in the way sometimes, If you wake up early, you don't get enough sleep and this and that and yada yada. But you have to find a way to work around that. If you miss one day, then make sure you do it the next day. And so on and so forth. I never want to wake up early. That alarm goes off, and every day I have to fight that weakness of turning that alarm off and going back to sleep. Every day I have to fight it. And that's just who I am. I have to accept that. And most of the time I win. I'm not perfect, but most of the time I win. And that's what's important. When you start winning at little mini discipline tasks like that, like waking up early, then it carries you throughout your day. If you continuously win those little tasks that require discipline, then the day is won. And you should be proud of yourself. What flows from discipline is consistency. And consistency is probably the number one trait to achieve what you really want to achieve. It's how you grow a business. It's how you get big in the gym. It's how you run a marathon. It's how you run ultra marathon. Like anything you want to do, consistency is required to get amazing at that skill. I've been on my improvement journey for probably a year, and discipline is probably the trait that I've improved the most. Over the summer, I started to wake up early every single day, like regardless of if it was a weekend or not. And it gives you confidence too. When you build your discipline, you feel proud of yourself. You feel like you can do anything. And that will enable you in the future to, hey, today I don't want to go to the gym, but I have this certain level of standards that I need to meet. So yeah, I'm going to go to the gym today even though I don't want to. That's the mindset that you got to have. And that's where discipline helps you. Make sure you apply discipline to the correct things so you avoid burnout. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.